Hello, hello, hello. In today's episode of the podcast, I'm going to be talking about a marketing audit case study. I'm going to talk about how I audited a small business and the issues that I found. I recently worked with a CEO. He reached out to me because he felt that he wasn't getting the best out of the agency. And the reason why he felt this was because the marketing cost, the cost of Google ads was going up and the sales were not increasing. The conversion was not increasing relative to the increase in spend. And he also felt that every time he needed to have a conversation with the agency, he needed to travel into London, and he felt like the agency, he was the one doing the chasing and the agency wasn't really coming into the office, and he just felt like a disconnect between the agency and his organization. So he felt he needed someone to be within the business to serve as a marketing leader whilst also helping with the execution. For a bit of context, the organization didn't have any marketing in-house. So when they started marketing, they had a huge budget and they were investing in Google ads, a little bit of SEO investment, but the bulk, I would say like 90% of the traffic that was coming to the website was from paid advertising. So if paid advertising doesn't work, the CEO just didn't feel comfortable. So let me talk about this marketing audit case study in 4 sections. So I'm going to talk about the objectives of the reason why the CEO hired me in the first place. Then I'm going to talk about what I found out when I did a situation analysis, what the current situation and the current performance was. Then I'm going to talk about the gaps that I identified, and I'm going to finish by talking about the improvements that I was able to make. So let's start with the objectives. The reason why the CEO brought me in to help him audit is marketing. First, the CEO realized quickly that the objective of marketing before I was brought in was very, very short-term focus. So he felt like the agency were just not really talking to him in terms of the next 12 months, the next 2 years, the next 5 years. He felt everything was just week by week, month by month, and very, very short-time focused. And he didn't really like that. Then another thing that the CEO realized was the agency was incentivized to make him spend more on Google ads. And the reason why was he signed a contract with them that was about 12% of the spend. That's what the agency management and retainer fee was. So the more money he spent on Google ads, the more the agency kind of gained. Then I also quickly looking at the organization, which is something that the CEO already found out himself, that the agency wasn't really integrated. The agency didn't quite understand how the organization functioned, wasn't really interacting with the important stakeholders, wasn't even having conversation with the compliance team. Because if you've worked in financial services, you know that it's a regulated environment where whatever goes on the website or Google Ads or stuff like that needs to be approved. And there was that disconnect, that lack of integration with the agency and the in-house team. So another thing the CEO realized was he felt like there was no document that shows him the strategy, the long-term strategy, the plan, and how the activities were being performed. All he just keeps hearing was click-through rates, metrics that didn't actually make sense to him. That sounds gibberish and sounds good, but he just felt something was fundamentally missing. Then one of the objectives why the CEO brought me in was to also help build an in-house marketing team. As a business owner, you need to understand that your marketing, you cannot just leave it outsourced forever because you're paying extra to get that done if you're working with a large agency because they have a large overhead. But if you have everything in-house, then you have more control, more alignment with the internal stakeholders as well. So another reason why the CEO brought me in to help with their marketing audit was to also help train the leadership team. It's not to train them to be expert marketers, but to train them to be able to ask the right question, to train them to be able to lead marketing as a function. And that's one of the things I did. So I did like a workshop. Every time I have presentation with the leadership team, it's structured in like a workshop where I train them. I kind of give them opportunities to ask questions and clarify all the things that they need to know about marketing. So once we establish the objective, which is number one, to improve the performance of marketing, to increase sales, it was an insurance company, to increase the number of insurance policies purchased, also to make sure that the people, the customers that they have, when it's time for the renewal, there was enough email automation setup to encourage those people to renew their policy with the organization. That was the main objective the CEO brought me in, and as well to reduce the cost of marketing. So how did I approach this marketing audit? So the first thing I did was to try to identify where the waste was happening. I started by going into the agency. I set up a meeting with the agency to kind of help them get an understanding of what the business was trying to achieve, because they were just optimizing on the platform. And I asked them the question, okay, show me the Google Ads interface, show me what you're doing, show me what you're tracking and everything. And I quickly noticed that the conversion action that they were tracking was further away from the actual conversion that they should be tracking. And this is a problem with Google Ads, because sometimes your agency will be showing you good results, but you're not getting the actual sales. That's because if they're tracking the wrong conversion action on your website, the interface will be showing good results, but the actual sales number and the cost you're paying for the leads or for the conversion goes significantly higher. That was the first problem that I identified. I identified that, okay, this is a serious cost problem. Then I identified, which is something the CEO has already said, there was no internal marketing within the business. So after I had the meeting with the agency, I then did a Google Ads audit. I did an SEO audit. I did an email marketing audit. I did a Google Analytics audit. And all these audits brought out recommendations, and then brought all those recommendations and joined it together into a strategy execution template. I shared that with the CEO. There was a clear description of what we're going to tackle, how we're going to tackle it. I prioritized first the website conversion, because mind you, there was money to bring traffic through Google Ads, but the problem was this traffic wasn't converting as much as they should. I implemented qualitative analytics tool onto the website to understand where people are clicking. I created funnels, analytics funnels, to see where people are dropping off from. And I quickly realized, like, the end-to-end journey, there was a lot of friction drop-off points that was leaking conversion. So what I did was work with the digital team. They had a digital website team, worked with them and started making improvement. I didn't do any A/B testing or any of those things, because the website was really bad from a UX perspective. So part of the CRO audit that I did was to make sure that the website, all the forms, all the funnels, all the call to action, everything, even the technical part of the website, was done within 2 to 3 weeks. And we started slowly seeing improvement. The cost per acquisition, the customer acquisition cost started declining, conversion started climbing. So that was the first initial thing. When we started seeing that, then I jumped onto the email side of things. Based on the email audits that I did, I quickly saw that the email sequence was not implemented properly. A lot of business owners just don't even touch email. Some of them don't even have email set up. I quickly realized that the email sequence for the renewal, because mind you, this was an insurance company. They had new customers and they had existing customers that they needed to retain to encourage them to renew their policy. So the email sequence to get them to renew, that wasn't working. So I worked with people internally to kind of create the email sequence to kind of start pushing all the right email. When people come to the website, they try to buy a policy, they leave their policy. We initiated a quote retrieval system that kind of brought people back. So in top level explanation, what I did here was to just make sure that the traffic that was coming to the website converted. The people that dropped off and then convert, we used retargeting and we used email marketing to bring them back into the fold. So that's another thing that I did. And the objective was to reduce the cost of marketing. The goal of reducing the cost of marketing was to increase the profit, increase the lifetime value of the customers as well. And to be able to do that, we needed to bring marketing in-house. We need to reduce the dependence on the agency. So I worked with the PA to the CEO to start creating job description, to start the recruitment process. We started with a junior person, created a personal development roadmap for the junior person, started paying for, the CEO obviously paid for the training, and that person learned the fundamentals of Google Ads, learned the fundamentals of SEO, and that person was then taking on the task internally and started reducing the cost to the external agency. And then towards the end of my engagement with the CEO, I then helped him hire a manager and then helped him hire a senior head of marketing. So when I work with companies, the goal is not to work with them long term, because a business should not be paying freelance consultants and agencies long term, because then marketing becomes a cost center. You should bring a growth marketing consultant like myself, or a fractional CMO again like myself, to help you build your in-house marketing capabilities. The goal of a marketing audit is to help you identify growth levers. So I then started by training all those internal stakeholders, made sure that everything was functioning fully well, and that's how I executed the marketing audit. So what I want you to understand when it comes to marketing audit is the audit should give you a long-term growth plan. It shouldn't just be audit and it's back to is business as usual. Bring in a marketing consultant to help you audit your marketing and help you upskill your marketing. And the difference between a marketing consultant and an agency is the agency is incentivized to stay longer. A retainer, they want to stay with you 2, 3, 4 years. But when you bring in a marketing consultant or a fractional CMO like myself, we or I will help you build your in-house marketing capability to make you less reliant on external agency. So these are the things that I kind of did working with this CEO. I made sure that the head of marketing that I helped him hire was able to take the organization forward, and then I easily transition out of the organization. So if you need a marketing consultant to help you build your in-house marketing capability, even if you have an existing marketing team, I can help you train them, upskill them, and give them all the right skills and the tools that they need. And if you're a business owner that you don't have an in-house marketing capability, even if you're already working with an external agency, you definitely need someone within your team, your leadership team, to help you, give you that second opinion and help you from a strategic and an execution perspective. My name is Femi Olajiga. If you need help with your marketing, starting with a marketing audit like I did for this insurance company, you can reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you. You can click on the link in the show notes or the description and it will take you to my website, or you can just contact me directly on LinkedIn. Again, my name is Femi Olajiga. I would help you with your growth marketing audit and improve results. Thank you.